Welcome back to Wrapped, everyone.
It's been a while.
It has been a while.
Insert any been gone for a minute, but I'm back now quote that is relevant to this.
Yes. So obviously it has been a while for the very obvious reason of the current times right now. We have not been recording. And we kind of just took a hiatus, just wanted to sit back, let everything kind of just play itself out. And now that it has been 9 weeks since our last episode, actually technically 10, but 9 full weeks of new music, we decided, you know what? We're going to
Bobby
start this thing
Shmurda
up.
almost got out of jail before we did another episode of this.
Yeah, like Bobby Schmurder almost got out of jail. 6ix9ine has gotten out of jail since we've done the last episode. Like lots of things have happened. And we were like, you know what? We've been taking notes on what's been going down.
Yeah.
Let's get back to it. We recorded on Zoom for anyone who's watching on or listening on Spotify. That's why the audio may not be as good as it used to be. You know, I got the Apple earbuds in, but you know what? It seems like every other podcast doing that. So why not us?
Hey, I mean.
Yeah, so shout out Zoom Pro. And we're out here just recording an episode. This is going to be the quarantine catch up. It's going to be a very abbreviated rundown of the past 9 weeks of music because I had like a full like episode of notes for like every week. And
there's a ton of stuff that's happening right now.
Yeah, and then as time went on, I was like, okay, I need to record one episode for the whole 9 weeks. And I just kind of went back and I just like narrowed it down and said what is really essential and like what was like super, super fire and like has lasted the test of time or that we just need to talk about because we have to talk about it. But way back.
I'm trying to get all the way back.
Like the first thing I have on my list was from March 13th. And it is now what? May 9th.
That's so long ago.
So long ago.
That was a whole like 3 years ago, it feels like.
Yeah, it's been 2 months. We put out one episode between that time. We put out a hiatus episode. And the last time we talked, we mainly talked about Eternal Intake by Lil Uzi Vert.
Yeah, because it wasn't finished.
Yeah, and then he put out like the sequel part 2/deluxe to it with what was it? That was not Love is Rage. It was like the Real Love Tape 2.
It was like Uzi versus the World.
Uzi versus the World 2. Yeah, he has a lot of those.
Which like Uzi versus the World was fine on its own.
It's fine.
Like I don't think that it needed a sequel.
No.
I think Eternal Take could have taken. I feel like he could have sat on it for a little bit longer. To just to reiterate what we said, it's Love versus the World 2.
Love versus the World, yep. Love versus the World 2.
It just could have been more done the first time.
Love versus the World 2 made me like Eternal Take more. I've gone back and listened to Eternal Take a couple times. I'm like, okay. Actually, the beat production on that album is great. Like there's super interesting beats.
The beats are really good.
Yeah. But that was the last time that we talked about anything. And now the number one album in the country is After Hours by The Weeknd. However, we're not going to talk about that this episode because that is such a big, big album and project and super important to us. And we're going to dedicate an entire episode to it. Entire episode rap topics on The Weeknd and his After Hours and a couple recaps from his previous albums. So we're going to leave that one. So if you're here for that, not the right place.
It's going to be a minute before we get there.
Yeah, it's going to be a minute. We're still waiting for a couple more videos to like roll out from him and seeing where this goes. But once we feel that era of him has like kind of set itself in stone for now until his tour.
Yeah.
We will record an entire like 2-hour episode on him. So don't worry.
The music videos from Beauty Behind the Madness.
Yeah, we'll talk about a lot of the music videos from his past 2 albums as well. So don't worry, that's coming. But we're not going to talk about After Hours in this episode. We're going to talk about a whole bunch of other stuff that is high profile. First thing I got on my list here, honestly, is Bullets with Names by Machine Gun Kelly.
Oh, yeah, with Young Thug and 2 other guys that don't really matter.
Yeah, but I was like, Lil Duke and RJ Mr. LA.
Lil Duke was Thug's like hype man or like his second guy on stage during their tour.
Mm-hmm.
So that one makes sense, but the RJ feature wasn't necessary. The song was fine with just it could have been like 2 minutes,
Yeah.
and then just like MGK and Young Thug, just like only them, and I think the song would have been fine. Like the other two guys like had some clever lines and were pretty funny. Um, he said, "Cut the cocaine with the creatine." Is like, are you going to work out or are you going to do drugs? That just didn't make sense to me, but that was really funny. And the video was great.
The video was cool. Yeah.
Because it just showed like the behind the scenes of the tour and whatnot. And
Yeah.
I like how MGK, like he's my favorite rapper, and will never apologize for that. But um, I like how he's like it's just starting to kind of become known about him just being a cool person to be
Yeah.
around for other rappers. Like there are people that don't like him, obviously,
Yeah.
but there's other people that have been like, yeah, like Young Thug. Like Young Thug doesn't hang out with just anybody, and we've seen how quickly somebody's friendship with him can fall apart with Rich Homie Quan and the rise and then abrupt end of Rich Gang, and like French Montana now as has been happening recently, with the whole, well, also French Montana said he could go toe to toe with Kendrick
Yeah.
Lamar on hits, which
Yeah.
come on now.
Yeah.
He also said that he might be able to stay toe to toe with Jay-Z, and I might be able to do heart surgery. So take anything he says with a grain of salt.
A large grain. We're talking
Like,
like the whole salt mill.
just like anyway, that's not really relevant. But I want to keep talking about MGK and the quarantine sessions
Yeah, I do too. Because like honestly,
that he's been doing, because they've
he's been
been
so
good.
prolific. Yeah, like he's been extremely prolific during this time of like not being able to tour and stuff like that. Because
Yeah,
like Bullets with Names came out March 13th, right before all this kind of got shut down. And then he just started rolling with like quarantine sessions that he would post on YouTube or Instagram TV, whether they were covers, like, and he did covers from like, we're talking bands with Travis Barker
yeah,
to
like Misery Business,
Misery
Love on the
Business.
Brain with just it's himself and his band, but was recommended to him by Marilyn Manson, which I thought was the funniest thing ever. That Marilyn Manson like just hopped up there and was like,
Yeah,
"Love on the Brain,"
that was really
Rihanna.
cool. Like, and he showed like the FaceTime of like Marilyn Manson. He was like, "Hey
Yeah,
man, like, give me a song. What do you want to hear?" Marilyn Manson's like, Love on the Brain." He was like, "Okay." And then like the Jack Harlow, like, "What's
that was
poppin'?"
cool.
And
Yeah,
he's like, "Give me the beat." Like, we did not know that they were close. They were friends. Like, they run in the rap community, but like that's kind of it. He was just like,
yeah.
"Hey man, you
Also,
check
that's
out
what
this
Poppin'
channel,"
Freestyle is so good.
and it's fire. Like, it's
That's so
crazy.
good.
It was so good.
I wish he had kept going at the end, because like you see him like he's like freestyling off his phone, and then you can see him just start going, and like he puts his phone down and he's like, I'm back to my old, all right, I'm done. So you can stop. And I was like, this is exactly what you did on Breaking News too, sir. We know there's a second verse.
I want Jack Harlow to put out like an official "What's Poppin" remix with
It's
him
with
with
him.
that verse on
Yeah.
it, because that'd
Yeah.
be so good. Because like "What's Poppin" kind of like blew up Jack Harlow, which was
Yeah.
weird because he just put out like 2 projects and everyone's like, "Who's that?" And then "What's Poppin" happened. I was like, "Whoa, what's poppin'?"
Well, I think what's poppin' is the best beat he's ever rapped on.
Oh yeah, that Justin made it
And
was
by
so
far,
good.
yeah.
Oh yeah, it's
Like
so good.
just I heard it meeting was like, this is gonna be a hit. Like when he was like, I have a new song, it's called What's Poppin', and I was like, okay, cool. And then I heard the beat and I was like, this is it.
I was like, yeah, that
Um,
piano comes in, it's so good. But like, yeah,
I
I mean,
wish they had started that FaceTime call with What's Poppin'. That would have been hilarious. But
it,
it's fine.
it really would have though. But like,
But I have to say, my favorite lockdown session of he's done has been either Pretty Toxic Revolver or the In These Walls, which sampled Paris.
oh yeah, I think that one was my favorite. But I liked too that he literally, because he didn't put like any of these on Spotify except for Misery Business.
He's trying to clear the
He's,
samples.
exactly, he's trying to
He
clear
said,
them.
yeah, Shawn Mendes wouldn't let him use his hum.
Oh really?
Yeah, it's the only reason why it's not, because it's an original beat, but it's Shawn Mendes going. He's the like that whole thing is Shawn Mendes, and
Interesting.
so You can't clear it. Which is also
Interesting.
funny because it's cut from that was a song that was cut from Hotel Diablo,
Really?
which I did not realize earlier. But somebody posted a video and he like retweeted. It was like, yeah, we worked on this for Hotel Diablo, and it was like the same. It was a similar beat, and it was like Slim, Baze, and Earl St. Clair or JP when
Oh
he's making
wow.
beats were working on it too. Yeah,
That's
and
dope.
that would, and then I want to say I think In These Walls was new, like brand new, brand new.
I think so too.
And I think What's Poppin' was brand new, brand new. I think Pretty Toxic Revolver should have been on Hotel Diablo because it fits that kind of aesthetic. And he also said some real things in there when he was talking about the coke that he had, that he had a headache from bad coke the same week that Peep overdosed. And I was like, that was
That
heavy,
was
heavy,
heavy.
heavy.
That was a
I
sheesh moment.
I
Um,
I'm a fan of it though,
oh yeah,
but
same. But what's impressive is like, yeah, he put out Bullets with Names. He did this whole like lockdown sessions of him in his house with all of his friends. And then we finally got something that we've kind of been waiting for, which was the first single to Tickets to
um,
My Downfall.
yeah, Bloody Valentine,
Bloody Valentine came out
so very
May
good.
1st. So like this is pretty recent,
Yeah,
like literally last week. But like the whole idea behind Tickets to My Downfall, if you're not aware, is that it's a collaboration album with him and Travis Barker. And the whole point of it is to be pop punk. Because obviously, if you've
yes.
ever listened to MGK, like, you know, he's very influenced by pop punk. He loves Blink 182. Like, he loves
He's one
Travis
of the only rappers
Barker.
to make it all the way through Warp Tour.
Yeah, like he makes it all the way through Warp Tour. Like, he definitely,
Yeah.
like, I think helped influence people like Juice World and other people later on. And Bloody Valentine is the first single. Firstly, the cover art is fantastic.
Yes.
Cover art is
Yes.
so good. I'm
I
really loving the
like
cover.
whoever is in charge of his like art direction now, which I'm sure it's honestly him. But whoever is in charge of his art direction has been crushing it recently. I know I don't think it's Jay Waz anymore. Um, 'Cause I think he's doing other things, but I know he directed the James Corden performance that they did this week
Mm-hmm.
for Tickets to or for Bloody Valentine.
Yeah, that was interesting because, like, yeah, he did like that James Corden thing, and at first I was like, hold up, wait, James Corden is not like doing things right now, but he is. Like every other
Just from
comedian
his home.
post,
Yeah.
he's from his house, and so they had like Travis Barker was in like one house, and MGK was in his house. And they just like filmed both of them, and then just kind of put it together. Honestly, the overall creativity of numerous artists right now is honestly mind blowing. Like how people
Yeah.
are putting music videos together and like all these different things. Very
Well,
impressive.
it's like nothing else to do. Like you're using this time to take a break and like spend time with your family,
Yeah.
or you're working on leveling up. And I think everybody, not everybody, because there's a few artists that I've seen not do anything, and not because they've been like exploited by like their labels or whatever, or basically being just like confirmed as industry plants and like faking things.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, but it's been cool watching everybody kind of level up and like do things that are outside of their comfort zones, or just be like, I am not going to be posting on social media because I'm going to write you an album in the next 2 weeks. Let's see how this goes. And I think that
Yeah.
I'm really loving that aspect of this.
Yeah.
It's a really dark time, but at the same time, it's really helpful.
Yeah,
Um,
like using things like artistry to like lighten moods, and like as a
yeah.
result, a lot of them are doing like donations to like COVID relief. A lot of artists have
Hmm.
made masks. So it's been like a really impressive time to just see how like something like music or any form of media like flourishes in a time where like you are limited in your resources. But I think that's
Yeah.
what a lot of art does best. I mean, like we grew up in theater. Theater ain't got money. Like you broke. So
Zero.
how do you make a good show happen with like a
Yeah.
$500 budget? That's pretty much what these guys are
Yeah.
doing here.
Dude, after all of this is done and we get some sense of normalcy back with like shows and like performances and TV, everything's gonna be so much better, because I feel like people aren't gonna just accept being fed the same bullshit over and over and over
Mm-hmm,
again.
mm-hmm.
They're like expecting something different and expecting something new, and like something that can like keep them really engaged.
Yeah,
And so that's been really happening. And honestly, MGK is the best example of this. With like, he's like, I'm gonna do something almost every day for y'all,
yeah,
like just in case. And that's really nice of him to do. But before we drift too far away from that, genre esque of people,
Mm-hmm.
and that's that weird random like pop punk rap hybrid thing. We gotta talk about "Stay Away" by Mod Sun, which was his latest single that he put out, and
Oh,
it
I am not
is
aware of this.
it is so good. His son, I believe it is Mod Sun, Machine Gun Kelly, and Goody Grace.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's so good. It is again on that like more pop punkier side from two guys that can really, really rap.
Yeah.
Like MGK's on there doing harmonies and whatnot. And Modson like for a while like posted about this as being like his favorite song he's ever made and like little things like that. But it's also so his his like most listened song is "Shoot 'Em Down,"
Yeah.
which came out 2016, I believe, and it has 8 million listens on Spotify.
Let's bring him out.
"Stay Away" just came out and is at 2 million. This is his fastest growing song
Oh, wow.
ever.
That's
Yeah,
pretty crazy, actually.
and it's completely awesome. Like it is like it's all of like the things that he used to do, like the song two, and like it's all of the good parts of the album movie that weren't him rapping, kind
Mm-hmm.
of like compiled into one track. Because Modson's a great artist and like a great rapper, but he's also a great musician. And I'm really glad that one, he's getting the recognition that he deserves. But also the fact that the song just came out this well, I feel like is something that could have just been not a thing at all, but it is like he's rocking right now. That is something I greatly appreciate.
That makes sense because, like, I literally like was creeping on his Instagram like a while ago, like before the quarantine hit, and I remember seeing like there's videos. He had his story popping with MGK and Goody Grace. Like, oh, we're in the studio. Da, da, da. And I was like, that's cool. I kind of forgot about it. So
Yeah.
this is definitely the result of that.
He also wrote part of My Bloody Valentine.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he has a writing credit on there.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah.
That's really
Um,
cool.
and Modson's also like I consistently forget that he was a drummer in like a scene band before he was Modson.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He
So
was.
I
Yeah.
think it was like Scary Kids Scaring Kids or like Forever the Sickest Kids, but he was their drummer before he became Modson, and I think that's great. So it's kind of cool to see him reaching back into this like pop punk era for him and just
Yeah.
completely owning it because he honestly deserves it. He's one of the nicest guys I've ever met. And so it's really, really cool to see him getting success and having it come to him being a 10-year overnight success.
That is dope. That's really cool. Yeah, I missed that. So I'm adding that to my playlist and I'm going to go listen to that.
Please
Um,
do.
I have to give a shout out. So a good friend of mine, like that I grew up with, like in middle school, like we would go to like different classes together and stuff like that. And like we grew up in the same studio and everything. She lives in LA now and she like makes music. And
Oh, that's so cool.
yeah, she's made some cool songs before. Like she released an EP last year that was really dope. But she new single come out March 27th called Disaster. Her name is
Mm-hmm.
McCall. And honestly, this song is fire. It's so good. Like actually, I think I'm gonna see if I'm gonna do this right here.
I'm gonna listen to it.
Yeah, Disaster, this girl right here.
Mm-hmm.
It's so good. Like I remember she like was putting on her Instagram like, yo, I got a new song coming out, you should hit it up. And I was like, okay, cool, like I always listen to her stuff. And she hadn't released something in a while, and so she
Yeah.
put out this, and I immediately DM'd her and I was like, yo, this is actually crazy because like it builds and the has like a beat drop in it, and I was like,
Mm-hmm.
and it was so clean. And she's super talented. Like she like plays guitar and like bass and regular a lot, and like she's great. So the song
Yeah.
is fire. So like go support like a new small artist. But she like has some crazy credits too because she's like worked with Griffin.
That's cool.
Yeah, like she's worked with Griffin, and then the Monster Cat label.
Yeah.
Yeah, she like works with a ton of people from there. A lot of like DJs from like Monster Cat are like, yo, can like you harmonize and sing like random words like that I'm gonna sample on my record? And she's like, yeah. So like she has like some cool stuff out there. And she's been on the past three Monster Cat best of whatever, like Monster Cat Instinct, which is
Yeah.
a whole collaboration by the entire label. Like she's on the past three of them. So it's pretty
Also,
dope.
Monster Cat is one of like the most underrated labels, I think, in the world of EDM and dubstep, and specifically just taking music that's fringe and bringing it to the more mainstream audiences.
Yeah.
Because like the first like 6 dubstep songs I ever heard, other that weren't UKF releases, were Monster Cat. It was
Mm-hmm.
like Tut Tut Child. There's a bunch of pirate themed dubstep because that's just who I am as a person. And then Monster Cat, that whole not Monster Cat, the Rocket League
That's what I was about to
soundtrack
say. Yeah, I was like
is
Rocket League because of their collaboration with Monster Cat. That introduced me to Slushy. That introduced me a lot more into Marshmello beyond like the 1 or 2 songs on the radio in
yeah,
like 2018. Yeah, Monster Cat does some crazy stuff, but she's worked with them a couple times. The song's fire. It's
completely.
so good. So she's gonna release another EP on it soon. But I think everyone should go hit her up. So shout out my girl McCall.
That's cool.
Yeah.
It's like what's her name? Ellie Dewey from
Mm-hmm.
Mobile
Yes,
and
very
Zed.
very similar kind of vibes. Ellie Dewey, she's like the West Coast Ellie Dewey, but also plays instruments.
Okay, I'm with you.
Yeah, her voice is really good too.
Yo, so while we're talking about smaller artists, we got to talk about our boy Max Miniker's girlfriend, Sam. She put
Oh yeah,
out
she
a
makes
cover
music.
and she's so good. Like I don't like I'm really, really like obnoxiously an asshole about people's voices and like what I like if I like them. And I don't say it a lot because I'm not openly an asshole, but we're all secretly assholes. And I was like, somebody Max like, oh dude, she's amazing. And I was like, uh-huh, cool, sure. Like like everybody's like always like, oh yeah, my significant other can definitely sing. But she can definitely sing. And she Max sent me one of her covers that she just put out a couple weeks ago, and I was like, the May thing. What? like it was really, really, really cool. So I'll post a link to it on my Instagram and like tag her in it so y'all can go listen. But go listen to her.
Is
She's
she
really cool. She's
on
also a really
Spotify?
I don't know if she's on Spotify. I know
Because
she's on YouTube.
I listened
Um
to her previously on Bandcamp.
um I don't know if she's on Spotify. She probably is. But I know she's definitely on YouTube and has that presence. And I think SoundCloud maybe. But and again, as we've said many times on this show and the other show, if you don't use SoundCloud,
SoundCloud, what are you
what are you
doing?
doing?
What are you doing?
It is
Honestly,
it is it's been 10 years since SoundCloud was like a thing, like became a thing. People please use it.
yeah, and
I,
like it's coming back hardcore this year because like a lot of people are putting stuff on there. Like Drake put 3 singles on there
yeah. We're gonna talk about
first.
Drake in a second
Oh,
because
totally. Yeah.
I have many thoughts about
Yeah.
his latest offerings.
Yeah, I do
If you
too.
if you
But
know
I mean,
what
like
I'm saying.
Drake is putting stuff on there. Khalid has put unreleased stuff on there. He was like,
Yeah.
it's not finished, but I'm gonna put it on here anyways because like I want to give something to my fans. It's crazy. Um, heck,
My music's on
I
there, but like
yeah,
it's
your
not
music's on
public,
there.
but it's
Yeah,
on there. It's just for
I put out a remix on there. I mixed Toby Lou's Buff Baby with Travis Scott's Sicko Mode. It honestly has like 5 or 6 likes. So we're all out here on SoundCloud. Support SoundCloud artists.
You love technology.
We love technology. Yeah, shout out to the very free editing software I used to make that remix. Speaking of Toby Lou, this man put out the most important song to defeat toxic masculinity in the entire world. Because this man said, hey, on YouTube, I have a thing called Skincare Tutorial 2020 launching on like April 3rd. Like, come watch it at like 2:00. And so I was like, cool. And so I'm like, I get there and like you see like the thumbnail. And so I'm assuming it's literally just going to be like one of those like Vogue magazine, like
Yeah.
go to bed with me kind of things, but like not because he's not big enough to do that just yet. So I was like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, it's going to be like a skincare routine. Nah, it's a song. It's literally called Skincare Tutorial 2020. And you get there and it's a music video. And 1, the video is great, but 2, the song is great. It's like
It's
just
so
all
good.
about doing your skincare. And he says like move bitch, wash your hands before you touch my contraband, like quarantine stuff. Like he it's very much a quarantine song. But then he's like, I wash my face mask off my face,
I'm with
and
you.
it's so good. It was just crazy. I was like, this man really out here releasing a song about how men should take care of their skin.
Because men should.
And you should. And then he said too, he said, if you don't apply skincare, you're gonna fuck around and pay the price.
Yes,
And I was
you
like,
will. Your skin gonna be itchy and flaky, and somebody gonna come up there and touch it, whether you like men, women, or both. Like,
mm-mm.
it's just gonna be nasty. And then they like, I started using a stone to like scrub the dead skin off my feet because they was nasty, and it's
That's
something that
real.
had to be done about it. So
That's real.
health is wealth in 2020.
Health is wealth. So like, shout out Toby Lou. Like, I messaged him and I was like, bro, this is like the most
The best
important
thing.
song of
Yeah.
this year. And he was like, thank you. Like, so it's so cool. Love Toby Lou. We always talk about Toby Lou because we're big fans. So go check out his new song, Skincare Tutorial 2020, if you have not yet.
Just a side note, while we're talking about other favorite artists, our boys in Set It Off are working on a new album. And
That's
they
been
said
live
that
streaming too.
yes, like crazy. But Cody said they had 20 of 40 songs written. They have a goal of writing 40 songs for this new project. It's not going to be a 40-song album.
No.
Because I think they did the same thing for Upside Down and this last one, Midnight, that came out.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just really cool that they were like, we're halfway done with writing songs. And I was like, hey, 20. So I think we're gonna get a new Set It Off album 2021. I don't think you're gonna get it before the end of this year. They could surprise me, but I think we're gonna get new Set It Off like 2021. And then I hope I'll go see them live again since I missed them.
Yeah, I want to see them live for the first time.
So good. Come with me. They're so good. They're so nice. Their shows are so much fun and have like such a positive energy around them that you don't get a lot of places. Like it's still chaotic, but it's like a positive chaos instead of just like a chaos.
Yeah. I mean, August Burns Red.
Nah, because August Burns Red's still mostly positive. It's like,
yeah, it's true.
The differences between like going to see like a Set It Off show is like watching the Clone Wars in 3D, like the 3D Clone Wars TV show.
Okay, yeah.
Whereas other bands is like watching the 2D Clone Wars TV
I was about to
show.
say, I'm like, you mean the 2D version?
Yeah, like the one that we don't talk about anymore.
It had its moments.
It did, but then the 3D version came and just like stomped on it.
Yeah.
And so that is now the only Clone Wars that we talk about.
Yeah.
But while we're here, and we've already said his name, so we have to go back. Let's talk about Drake.
Black leather glove, no secret.
I can dance like Michael Jackson.
Okay,
Stop.
so we talked about he had singles come out this year, like Life is Good, which since it's come out, life has not been good for anybody, right? But anyways, Life is Good. He had Desires drop on SoundCloud with Future. He put out a Chicago freestyle and When to Say When, also on SoundCloud. Yeah. And then there was a bunch of him like on Instagram, and he's like, Cardi need to drop this. And everyone's freaking out because Playboi Carti has been teasing an album for 3 years, hasn't dropped. And then just out of nowhere, this man said, Friday, May 1st, Dark Lane demo tapes. It's a mixtape, studio album coming this summer. That's it. And I was like, okay.
Cool. So, thanks.
Cool. But honestly, okay, so it features Giveon, Chris Brown, barely, Future, twice, Young Thug, Playboi Carti, Fabio Foreign, and Sosa Geek, who are both Brooklyn drill artists. It's 14 tracks and it's 49 minutes. I was so glad this thing was not an hour because literally the past 3 albums he's released have been minimum 1 hour, 20 songs. So right off the bat, I appreciate the fact that this is shorter, but hot take, this is the best thing he's released in the past 5 years.
It is.
100%. It's the best thing since, if you're reading this, it's too late.
It doesn't seem like he's trying to be like a pop star. It seems like he's just back to rapping, like, which is something that is necessary, but it felt like old Drake a little bit, if that makes sense, even though I fucking hate Tootsie Slide as a song.
I was going to say, yeah, Tootsie Slide came out. What do you think of Tootsie Slide?
I hate Tootsie Slide.
I think it's absolutely infectious. And
it is like it's addicting song. It's like addicting. It's stuck in your head forever. It's the earworm, but it's so not catchy. Good.
No, and the whole
dance is stupid.
I don't hate the dance. I don't like the idea that he made a song for TikTok when TikTok has been very, very like blatant saying, listen, this is a space for normal people to do whatever the hell they want. They TikTokers hate celebrities on TikTok.
They do,
And
but also TikTokers make as much money as celebrities, so
that is also
they're
true. So
fake.
it's like, okay, it depends on who's saying it. But like for
Yeah,
like some of these people who are just like normal people, I guess, who are just kids having fun, like they hate celebrities on there, right? And he's like,
yeah.
I'm gonna make a song for TikTok. And I was like, I'm not on TikTok. I don't have an opinion on this. I just don't think you should do that because the community is not gonna love it. And it was number one for a week, but I like watched this whole thing on Genius about them talking about it, and they were just like, yeah, it's number one and that's dope, but I think that he expected it to do better. And it
I mean, yeah,
and
it
it
sounds like he expected it to do better. It
he
shouldn't have
expected
done
it to
better,
be like a next
but
like, single whatever, but like literally you can't take Abel down for more than a week because
no.
literally Blinding Lights is like unstoppable at this point.
Yeah, Blinding Lights is actually number 2 right now,
Yeah, it got moved to number
behind the
two
Scots.
behind the Scots, but maybe
Um,
next week it'll come back. I mean, that's what happened with Tusi Slide.
yeah, I
But
think, but I think Blinding Lights is gonna stay like top 5 for a while, but I think it's gonna
mhm,
be lower
yeah,
because I don't think it's gonna get to number 1 because we got Megan Thee Stallion and Beyonce
yeah, that
collab,
remix.
and it's just gonna ooh, ooh.
Which, yeah, that's a whole nother thing. That's another TikTok thing, right? Because Megan dropped Sugar with Savage on it, and it was like cool. It was not a single. It came out with the drop of
But
that
that's
project.
different though, because somebody took the song and then made the dance. It wasn't
Yeah,
like
and
she
then
made it for
exactly.
TikTok,
Yeah,
and
and
then
so
she was like, "Oh, this is cool," and so
it's
she just
crazy
accepted it. Yeah,
how I think it's the opposite where that blew up on TikTok with the TikTok community like so much with the Savage dance to the point where she's like, okay, I'm gonna put out a remix with Beyonce.
like they're both
And
from Houston, like they're
they're
both
both from
Texas.
Houston. That's why she said, I want to get the real Houston hot girl. Um, and honestly, it's fire. I like
It
it
is.
better than the original. I
It's
think
also Beyonce. The effect of Beyonce's voice on like touching anything just elevates a project higher. Like she doesn't. I don't always like her music, but I can never
same.
say that something that she's done is not well done.
I agree.
This
I
was
think
so
I agree with
well
that.
done, and
Yeah.
the song is a bop regardless.
Yeah.
But it is just extremely, extremely well done.
Yeah.
Um,
It's bars. Like Beyonce, it's Beyonce spitting bars. Because when it started, I was like, is this gonna be her singing? Like, what is it? It's both because she's like in the background, but like
yeah,
it's primarily her just dropping bars. And that whole thing about like Demon Time, Catch Me on the OnlyFans, like blew up. OnlyFans is like market value, like 300% or something. Like
yeah,
and Jay-Z made that bar up apparently, and it was crazy. So like I love that Savage remix. I think it's fantastic. The art for it is also hilarious.
it is.
The art is so funny. Um, but back to Dark Lane demo tapes. What's your favorite song?
On probably D4L with Young Thug and Future.
D4L is my second favorite. I really
On
like D4L. And
that's probably my favorite song.
Landed is my favorite because Landed
Okay,
is literally just bars. Like it's like the first time I can say that Drake spit bars in the past like 3 years.
incredible things happen when Drake raps, but he needs to rap more,
Yeah, I agree. But honestly,
way
I
more.
I like this whole project. One, like if there was 10 more songs, I'd probably say this was trash, right? Because I felt that way about Scorpion, More Life and Views. If he cut 5 or 6 songs, I would think they'd be much better albums. But I've trashed on them because I've said these are too long. An hour and a half album, you better be coming with every single song being absolutely necessary. And most of them they
Yeah,
aren't because that's hard to do. It just that's just hard to do as an artist. But Darkline demo tapes, 14 tracks, and honestly, I like all of these tracks. Like, there's not a track on here where I'm like, this is trash. There's tracks I like
yeah.
more than others, but like,
There's nothing on
it's
here that I
cool.
felt like a throwaway.
No, I
To,
agree, and that's what's funny is that he literally called all these songs throwaways. Half of them, he's like, either I recorded it recently or it was a throwaway from my past album.
which is it would have made the album so much better if he had replaced. I honestly wanted. I wish he had done it with dates next to him,
Yeah, same.
so like we can see when these were recorded to see what he cut some of these from. Because
Yeah,
I would love to know what song he cut, like he put on an album and like over some of these.
same.
Because like I think I know when like D4L does not sound necessarily new.
Yeah, no.
I feel like D4L is from the tape that Young Thug did with. It sounds like the tape that Young Thug did with Offset, just without Offset. It sounds like that era.
Yeah. I think
Um,
too, you can go on the Genius and you can click each one and you can see like how did this happen? Like, because he's said like this was a throwaway from Scorpion. This is a throwaway here, and then other stuff it just kind of happened. Like Demons with Fabio and Sosa Geek was a Fabio Sosa song, and he
yeah,
heard about it and he like called the dude who made the beat and was like, "I want to hop on this," and they're like, "Okay." He's like, "I want to put it out under my name," and they were like, "Okay, cool. Like, we're probably
you're
gonna
also
get
not going to say no to that.
like I'm not gonna say no to that. Like that's very much like putting me into bigger audiences and everything. And he just like got all kinds of great producers. Like he had D Hill, who was like nobody until Life is
Mm-hmm.
Good. And then he got Axel Beats, who's the dude who like blew up Pop Smoke to do War. Like the beats on this are all very good. And it's not just 40, which I also like. Because
Yeah,
sometimes maybe I like 40 as a producer, but like it all starts to sound the same, right?
mm-hmm. That's why I don't
That's
like Metro Boomin tapes.
yeah,
Because
same.
his beats are always great, but it's not. There's a very specific. It's not like
I
I
can't
think
listen to it
it's
for an
like
hour.
artists like yeah. It's like I feel like Zaytoven, his beats have enough
I
variety to
agree.
them
I
where like if
agree.
you put out a tape, which like he does often, like he did a Tiny Desk concert. I don't think there are very many producers that can just straight up do a Tiny Desk
No.
concert that are in the rap world.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
From
That's
the
true.
EDM world, that's a different conversation.
Yeah,
But
because that's
for
different.
the rap world, guys like Zaytoven, Take a Day Trip, what's his name? I know his tag, but I don't know. I forgot what his name is.
What's his tag?
Jetson made another one.
Jetson Made.
Name Jetson? Is it?
Yeah,
Oh, is
his
that's
real
the
name
name?
is
Yeah,
literally Jetson Made.
I'm mad, but like he also has a great producer tag.
Yeah.
Um, that's probably my favorite one. Day Trip taking the 10.
Day Trip is my favorite.
That's a good one too.
But
Um,
that's what I liked about this project is it wasn't all the same. It was the first time like
yeah,
that Drake in a while has done a lot of different things. He did Brooklyn Drill. He did typical Drake rap, different Drake rap, old Drake R&B, new Drake R&B. It was all kinds of things. And then the Playboy Cardi song was just kind of fun.
yeah.
Like
It's Playboy Cardi. I
it's
don't
Playboy
expect
Cardi.
anything. I don't ever expect anything from him.
He released a new
Um,
song though.
yeah, but you see, I'll listen to it eventually.
Oh, you didn't listen to it? I liked it.
No,
I
I
liked.
don't. I don't like Playboy. I don't like Playboy Cardi. He's like he to me that whole like Cardi talk thing is just stupid. Like if I
I can
can't
listen to it for so long, but then I get tired of it.
like I feel like if I can't understand you, I can't get into your music, and it doesn't catch me in a way where I can't understand you, but it still makes me want to turn up. Like it doesn't. It just I just can't understand it, and maybe I'm just an old man at 24, but like it just feels to me like something that isn't necessary. Like, even
Yeah,
like it's not like Young Thug. When Young Thug does it, I'm like, all right, cool. I don't know what he said, but let's go. But when he does it, it's like, all right, he just doesn't know words. Like, or that guy that oh, what's his name? I because he's probably my least favorite rapper, but he's so funny. Um, I don't know what he sounds like, but do you remember the part in the song from the Black Panther album where Future decided it was a good to go
oh my gosh. Also,
the
that
guy
has blown up on TikTok recently, which is crazy.
the guy
Um,
that does that all the time, him. I hate him, but he's so funny that I'm like, all right, cool.
you
But with
mean
Playboy,
you mean Sway Lee?
yeah, no, that's it's not Sway Lee because you can understand Sway Lee.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Like when he goes hot about drop top, like you know what he's doing, and you know
yeah.
what he's saying in Swing. There are so many times where Playboy Cardi speaks, and it's like, oh, it's Cardi talk, and I was like, no, the man is speaking pig Latin for no reason.
Yeah, the song was called "At Me," and it. I had to listen to it 2 or 3 times. I don't entirely still know what he said. I liked it though because I thought the beat really suited the baby voice and it worked.
Mhm.
If the beat didn't fit it though, I wouldn't have liked it.
Yeah,
But I liked "At Me," and he had a cool like music video to it where like the photography of it was all very interesting. Um, but it was like, oh my God, Cardi's gonna drop, and that was April 16th, and he put out Pain 1993 with Drake, but that's only because Drake released it himself. Like Cardi was not gonna be like, you can drop that. Because Drake
Yeah.
was like, I'm. It was funny because Drake was on IG Live. He's like, yo, Cardi, you need to drop this, and everyone's like, play by Cardi, drop it, and literally the next day it came out, and Drake was like, just kidding, I had it, which I thought was honestly hilarious.
Drake does
But
have a sense of humor.
oh, I
You have
think
to give him
he's
that. He does have a
absolutely
sense of humor.
hysterical. But anywho, Dark and Demo tapes, I liked it a lot. I rag on Drake at times. I love him as a person, but as an artist, sometimes he frustrates me.
Mm-hmm.
But I liked Dark Lane demo tapes, and I think everyone should go listen to it.
It's good.
It's good.
So just to completely flip the genre, so there's a producer that I love named Subtronics,
Right.
and he put out a song, or not a song, he put out 4 songs in an EP because that's what artists do, called Scream Saver. And excuse me, I so apologize that my throat decided to close up there. But it is nuts. Like all of these songs have some of the most insane sound design on them that I've ever heard. Just objectively from the cover art perspective, I love the fact that it's his like Cyclops logo coming out of the computer.
Yeah, the
That is
artwork is
surrounded
fire.
by dab rigs and a keyboard because it's his favorite things. But this album's really good. So Screamsaver, he teased it last year. Like he made it. I remember when he put on IG Live, he's like, "Hey guys, I just made it a thing, and it's my favorite thing ever." And he played the drop from it, and it was just like sitting there, like bouncing to it. So we were all like, "That's really cool." And then he played it live for the first time, and everybody collectively like
Lost their mind.
That video was really cool. And then he kept going and like kept hyping it up, and every time he dropped it, people like knew had learned the pre-drop, and then it came out a couple weeks ago. But it's really good. There's also a song called Discotheque on there based around somebody seeing someone else leaving a discotheque, and then it just repeats discotheque over and over and over again. But it's dubstep. There's not a whole lot of lyrics here. But
Yeah.
it's really, I saw him go from the discotheque, discotheque, and it just that gets in your head and it stays there. And then so you have Boogie T, who I've talked about before, has a jam band called the Boogie Trio.
Mm-hmm.
And they've actually put out 2 things recently. They put out their EP called Remedies, which is another 4-track EP, which contains the songs Nobody Else, Dear Weedman, and Disco Moses, and Free. Everyone should go listen to Disco Moses right now because it's so good. And he's another guy that makes dubstep, but also like branches out into various genres. Like this is his jam band. And it's very New Orleans. This album was very New Orleans. It's where he lives, but it's also just in feeling. It felt like a party. And if you look at the album cover of the people being sad before they go into the music venue and then emerging different, it is also a very big thing on how much music can affect your mental, which is why we talk about it so much. And he's nuts as a producer and as a songwriter. And also Ganja White Night Boys actually came together with the Boogie Trio to do a remix for, and they gave us the Dear Weedman remix. And I've never heard somebody take a sound and make it talk like they do in this song. Because like they make it like they just, a lot of it's a very light remix. And I say light where it's like the song itself with just like little bits of Ganja White Night thrown in there, but they make the bass, like their main bass lead, sing the chorus. And I thought that was the sickest thing ever. So definitely go watch that. And they actually just did a drum and bass live stream the other night, and it was nuts. So, but always love the Ganja Boys.
Yeah, that's dope. Yeah, I just added both of those. I'm like adding all this to a playlist of things I haven't listened to yet. So I'm like adding all this to that
I'm
playlist.
so glad.
Yeah, so it's called Listen To. So I'm gonna hit those up definitely later on today. Couple of just singles that we don't have to talk about in depthly that I just kind of want to just touch on to put in everyone's like, notes in their pocket.
Mm-hmm.
Frank Ocean.
Frank Ocean, deep sigh.
So Frank Ocean, love him so much. Being a very, very heavy Frank Ocean fan, and everyone always knows it can be a little frustrating. Like, is he alive? Is he going to release music? But he had put
Did he
out,
finesse the music industry for $33 million?
he sure did.
Yes, he did. He's a genius.
He's honestly a genius. But he had months ago during these like parties for called PrEP, which is like a AIDS preventative drug. Because if you didn't know, Frank Ocean's gay. Some people don't know that apparently. But he had debuted 2 songs there called Canado and Dear April, and then he released them on 7-inch vinyls with a remix on the other side to them. Canado, by the way, is in Spanish. And it was like months ago. And so like if you ordered them, you got them early April. And then as soon as they got to you, he released them on Spotify. Kind of genius to go like, hey, if you're a real fan, you're going to get this a week early on physical vinyl. If you didn't buy the vinyl, because it was like $20 for 2 songs.
Yeah.
Because so I didn't buy it. Then you got it April 3rd. And it was funny because the songs are called Canado, which is in Spanish, and Dear April.
Mm-hmm.
And it released the first week of April.
I remember everybody talking about that. They're like, Frank Ocean is going to release music the first week of April. And I was like, April Fools.
And then 2 days later, it happened. So
it was like April Fools.
It was crazy. They're pretty cool. I think everyone should go listen to them. They're both very slow. They're different. They're like it's like the 4th thing in the past like 6 months he's released, because he released 2 other songs via PrEP as well.
Did you see the resurfacing of that IG like question thing he did where somebody asked him, what would you tell yourself 5 years ago?
No, I didn't.
Like before you blow up. It was really cool. He said something along the lines of, hey, I know it sucks right now, but you're about to finish an album. You're about to make a ton of music with awesome people. You're going to do it. People are going to like your music, and you're on your way to go work with Kanye West and Jay-Z. Like it was when they were recording Watch the Throne.
Yeah.
He said, and you're in a car on your way to work with Kanye and Jay-Z. And we know what came of that, which was No Church in the Wild.
Yeah. That's actually really cool.
Is nutso. But it was that made me like him a little bit more, because I've always thought he made good music, but I've never just been like Frank Ocean. But that made me, I have a lot of respect for him at that, and it's been really, really cool to see or to reread that and just be like, hey, he's like, it's okay, it sucks, but 5 years you'll be on your way to working with Kanye and Jay-Z on the best song on Watch the Throne.
Wow, that's really crazy. Yeah, he did that, and then he was supposed to be one of the 2 headliners next to Travis Scott for Coachella, which got delayed until September. And there's a lot of people who said like, oh my gosh, Frank Ocean, he created COVID simply so he didn't have to perform because his next album is not ready.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm dead. But also a couple other songs too. Leon Bridges released a song called Inside Friend. It features John Mayer. Collaboration that like
love it.
Always wanted. Such a good song. Came out Friday, April 10th. Go check that out. That's fire. Juice WRLD released his first posthumous single called Righteous via his estate. It's good.
That's a heart record though.
Yeah, it's a heart record. It's good. It came out April 24th. Go hit that up. If you just further want to just get in like your depression kitty mode, the 1975 released another song. It's actually not that depressing. It's actually pretty cool. It's called If You're Too Shy, Let Me Know. That came out also April 24th and has 2 music videos. They're about to release their next album for which it's part of. They've also been doing listening parties on like Instagram, Twitter, and everything, which are pretty cool. I like this song a lot. It's it sounds like a 2003 block party
so nice.
In denim shorts kind of vibe.
Yeah.
It's like that kind of band vibe. But also we got to talk about Travis Scott and Kid Cudi, the Scotts.
Kid Cudi's first number 1,
which
so good,
is mind blowing.
Yeah, because I thought Day and Night went number 1.
Same,
because of how much I listened to it just when it came out. It's also nuts to think about how he basically helped the mental health of a generation.
Yeah, I mean,
with one song,
and it's cool.
One album.
Yeah, one album, and like it's cool too because like Travis Scott literally said like that 1, like his music saved my life, and 2, like his name is Travis Scott after Scott Mescudi, which is Kid Cudi's real name. Like, and he said before, he's like, Rodeo is not going to come out unless I have Kid Cudi on there. Kid Cudi was not on it, but he was on the next album and the album after that. But either way, it all kind of worked out in his favor.
Yeah, I'm excited for this joint project that we're getting from both of them.
I am too. It's Yeah, it's very cool.
Also,
I'm excited.
I think the weekend's gonna be on it.
You think so?
They Kid Cudi. Somebody else is like, "Who do you still want to make do?" He's like, "Do you want to make music with the weekend?" He's like, "Of course." He's like, and then he tags the weekend. He's like, "Weekend, you down?" And he responded with a clip of Jack Nicholson from, I think it was um that movie with Matt Damon and Mark Wahlberg and Leo
Oh,
DiCaprio,
The
The Departed,
Departed.
and them just going, "Yes," and I was like, "The weekend is on the Scots, or like is
Oh
involved
man,
somehow,"
I
and
missed
so
that.
that was really good. I spent way too much time on Twitter the past during this
I mean,
quarantine.
what else you gonna do?
There's so many things I could do, but I'm not. But I'm not dead, so that works. Um, but no, I think the weekend's gonna be on the Scots
Wow. Okay,
album.
that has me shook then because I totally have not been aware of that until now. Um,
Were you on the IG live where they played the second single?
no, I wasn't. I missed it, but I caught it later on Genius.
Yeah, they like I've never like Travis Scott's a very excited person, but this
Yes.
is probably some of the most excited I've ever seen him just to release a couple of like simple tunes. Because
Yeah.
these are like very like this is just it's not like an album yet. This is just like singles, and he is like running around screaming like the first time we all got to hear Drake on Sicko Mode. Like it is nuts.
It's true because I was at the premiere of the song on the Fortnite Astronomical event, and I also had like my laptop poised with Travis Scott's Twitch live stream,
Yeah.
and literally like he was just running going like, and he was like freaking out. And, like the way he was like typing on Twitter, he was like, "This is the most excited I've ever been." Like the fact that like I'm raging online during COVID, like he's like the rage is real, the fan love is real. Like it's really cool. The song is dope, but honestly, to me, besides the astronomical event was dope. Like that was game changing, like super
Hmm.
crazy. I had a lot of fun at it. It was fun. Should go watch it on YouTube. But to me, the craziest piece was the merch.
Yeah.
The merch. Did you see it?
I did. Isn't it
Okay,
all sold out now?
technically, because like what he did was like similar to the Astro World merch, where he would roll out like a line of it, and then he would say
Yeah.
the next day sold out. But then after like 6 sets of merch, he then said, "I'm reopening the store for like 24 hours, like one last time. Like come back and like get your merch, and then it'll be done because all of it is not made yet, so it's only sold out if you decide not to get it."
Hmm.
But I took some screenshots because the merch was too fire. I just want to show everyone. This man made a blanket.
Yeah, like it was lit.
The blanket's lit. He also had
The
a rug.
PlayStation, the old PlayStation symbol.
That PlayStation symbol is so good. Like all of the stuff that he did, like logo wise for this merch, is insane. But like he made a rug. This is the second time he's made a rug because he made one for Astroworld as well. Mouse pads. You know, this blue with the PlayStation logo is so fire. Um,
Yeah.
all that is good ish. This man also put out a wrist rest for your computer, and then the like thumb grips because I
Oh,
use
that's
thumb
so
grips.
sick.
Yeah, I use thumb grips, and I love thumb grips because like they change the way you play and it makes it so much easier to
Uh,
control the sticks. But yeah, put out thumb grips because he
Look
debuted
at
the
this
song on Fortnite.
bipartisan PS controller and
I
Xbox.
know.
That's
He's
so
not taking a
nice.
stance. I love it. Um, and the wrist rest with the Cactus Jack like Russian logo, so
Uh-huh.
good. Um, this man put on another action figure of himself as the Fortnite character skins. This man put out a Nerf gun.
I did not know about the Nerf gun.
Yeah, he put out a Nerf gun that is modeled after the Fortnite AR, and then like put a thermo skin on it
That's hilarious.
and sold it for $65. Like
I mean, it's your average Lego set.
that's actually your average Nerf gun Lego set. But
Do you
then
know how cool it would be if he released the Astro World like tours, like the set for the tour as a Lego thing?
oh my god, so okay, like weird sidetrack actually. For Autumn's, if you don't know that, that's my girlfriend, everyone. But for Autumn's like final for her marketing class, they had to basically they were given a brand, hers was Lego, and then told to do something cool with it. So she did an entire Travis Scott like Lego proposition thing, and she had a whole set that was going to be Astroworld theme park. She had another set that was literally the AJ1 shoe
Yeah.
as like a large like life size shoe. She did all this. She did the head, all this crazy stuff, and I was like, because we came up with the idea together, and I said, literally though, this would be so fire. And like,
Yeah.
we need to contact Lego and tell them they need to get together with Travis Scott. Cause like,
He'd
I
do it
would,
in
I
a
would buy that in
heartbeat.
a heartbeat. Like,
Yeah,
it would be so good. Like, you could build Astro World.
absolutely.
But anywho, also the amount of vinyl
for a for a
because
single.
too, what you can't see here is that he also had 7 inches as well, which is like a single.
Yeah.
Um, but I was like, man, because the Cause did the art on this, and then they put it out. This was the Spotify version or like the streaming version, and then he did 2 more. This looks like Igor by Tyler the Creator, but I'm here
It
for it.
does. It also
This
looks
one
like
was my
Pretty
favorite.
Girls Like Trap Music.
It does. Like the pink is really cool. This one's my favorite. And then he did 4 of these. I love this one because this is Astroworld as the planet. And like just the things on the side, like so good. I almost bought one because I was like, I don't think that this is just that in the instrumental version because it's like 12
Yeah.
inches. That's a full like LP or like an
Yeah.
album there. So I feel like if you order that, you would get the Scots, which is why I think Scots is going to be like a 6 or 7 song project. It's
Mhm.
not going to be long. It's going to be just
Yeah.
like Jack Boys,
Mhm.
short. Either way,
Short and sweet.
had the show won that. Merch was fire. Best merch of the
Merch
year
is
so
fire.
far. Next to the Weekend's merch. The Weekend's merch is fire.
Is really good. The Scummy Bears has been doing. Well, Scummy Bears is a clothing brand that does a lot of EDM collaboration.
Mm-hmm.
Like they've done one with like Liquid Stranger. They did a really really sick one with Sullivan King. And they're very wholesome and like a very very good company. They're also doing like hella mask right now.
Yeah, everyone down here doing masks.
But they have so they've caused minor delays. But hold on, this is just their website is insane. It's also got some very very dramatic looks in here. It's not appropriate to show on TV, but
Hey, this on
it's a
YouTube,
lot.
so you know.
Yeah. So hold on, give me a second. I'm technologically dumb. So boom. Just kidding. I'm not going to show you it. Go look at Scummy Bears.
Go get Scummy Bears.
They look good merch. They have, but all their stuff is like based around color and like the gummy bear like theme. So their symbol is like a gummy bear with an X over his eye and an ear bitten off.
Okay.
So
Very
it's
much.
like that kind of like angry little, like your like angry little teddy bear sort of deal.
Yeah.
Like an evil Care Bear, but not evil. Just their Care Bear's a rager.
The Care Bear's a rager. Well, that was like Travis Scott for the second leg of the Astroworld tour had like the teddy bear, but that was like all torn up as well.
Yeah,
But I loved that.
cool.
That was
He also
cute.
had the teddy bear on stage
And teddy
at
bear on
Hangout.
stage. Yeah, for that festival set. It was fire. Speaking of Travis Scott and his whole camp, did you listen to Don Toliver, Heaven or Hell?
Yes.
Yeah.
So good.
So good. Like
So good.
really good. So Don Toliver is part of the
He has
Cactus
such an
Jack
interesting
label.
voice.
He does. Like he has like his sing-song melodic voice. This is his second project since joining the Cactus Jack label. He was on Astroworld on Can't Say, which like helped blow him up. And then he's like one of the 5 artists signed to Cactus Jack with Travis, Chase B, Sheck West, and they added another person recently who I'm not familiar with at all because he was not on Jack Boys.
Uh-huh.
Very
I
new.
honestly am really surprised they haven't officially added Rosalia to Jack Boys yet.
Yeah, I know. Same, because she is like very much running in their camp too.
She is, and she's great.
She's great.
She would be an incredible addition to that.
Yeah,
lineup.
I think they're too small of a label and too rooted in just North America, though. For her, like she needs to be on like UMG South America, basically.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's called Heaven or Hell. It features Travis Scott, Cash Page, Offset, Quavo, and Sheck West. It's 12 tracks, 36 minutes. He's also supposed to open for the weekend for his After Hours tour, you know, depending on if he's available still, whatnot. And then he also had the entire album remixed by DJ Candlestick.
Dude, Chopped and Screwed.
For the Chopped and Screwed remix, which is like a Houston sound that like Travis Scott like really explored in Astroworld. And like Don Toliver is a Houston artist. Like that's how he like Travis Scott heard about him, was like, I hear this guy in the Houston clubs, like the strip clubs, like who is this Don Toliver kid on SoundCloud? And that's why he pulled him in.
It was also that was cool. That moment in the documentary, Look Mom I Can Fly, was really cool with Travis as well. Or Don Toliver when he was just like driving, like, yeah, I was like, I'm going to meet Travis Scott. And then they were like, you're on the label. He was like, ah. I was like, that's really dope.
Yeah,
Really, really cool.
it's really
Like,
cool. I love Don. He's done some great features this year with Eminem.
oh, that Eminem feature was
The
nuts.
Eminem feature was nuts. He recently was just on Knob's "Good Intentions" that came out yesterday. He was good on that song. But yeah, I want you to go listen to "Heaven or Hell" and
Please
then
don't ask me
listen
if I
to the
listen to
"Chopped and
Nav
Screwed."
album. Please don't.
I listened to it. It's good. I like it better than "Bad Habits."
Oh yeah, TBT.
Yeah, because I like the idea too. That was "Bad Habits, Good Intentions." Like that was
That's
cool.
cool.
That was cool.
It'd be cooler if it didn't come from Nav, but
It'd be cool if they were just shorter. Because I mean,
they're all very long.
You can only listen to Bad Habits Deluxe. Like you can't listen to the regular. And the deluxe is 24 tracks. That's so long. And
So
like
long.
Good Intentions is 18, which is also long.
That's
Like
pretty
it
long.
feels long. There's some parts of it that I really enjoy about that album,
How
but
long was Astro World?
18 tracks. But like 3 of them were like a minute
17. That's true.
or 17. Like there was only like a couple that like there was a few that were not super long. So
Yeah.
and also Astroworld was like a masterpiece.
Yeah. Astro World needed to be that long.
Astroworld needed to be that long. Yeah, no, it totally worked. But no, Heaven or Hell is great because it's only 36 minutes. So it's definitely worth a listen for everyone. I think it's a great project. The cover art is super dope. And then there's literally an entire like remixed, slapped, chopped, like drizzled and lean version of the entire album as well, which I've never seen someone take their entire album and turn it over to one other person and say, can you completely redo this? He even put it in a different order too. Like
Yeah.
and it works. Like it's really crazy. So I think I want you to go check that out.
It's really good. So one of the singles that I want to highlight that's come out recently is it's called "Got That" by Jansen and Taboo. Jansen is an OG in EDM and dubstep. He's one of the first EDM songs I've ever really heard that I loved. He made with Bass Nectar called Red Step. And then Taboo is a guy who lives out in New Orleans again. But he's super Southern and he makes some really, really nutty kind of Southern hip hoppy bass music. And they came together on a song that had been played out live that I've heard for a good long while. So it's cool that they sat on it and then just kind of released it from there. But it's really, really, really good. It's a Circus Records release, which is it's just Flux Pavilion, his label. If you remember Flux Pavilion from songs like I Can't Stop.
Oh wow, yeah.
Yeah, that's his label. It's him and Dr. P and Funkcase, I believe, is also a partner in that label, but Funkcase has his own label, a DPMO, which is much heavier. This is much more on that like trap side of the bass music genre. And not even trap. This is more of like I call it happy dubstep, where it's not like super angry, go fight your friends. It's like you could start a mosh pit, or you could just kind of sit there and like dance to it. So like on a scale of like Marshmallow to Sudden Death, this like is in the middle. Those are the two first names that came into my mind.
That's hilarious.
And I also think it's so funny that Sudden Death has one of the biggest TikTok trends through his song Behemoth, with like the quote unquote Pokemon remix of it.
Yeah.
Where it's like it's the one with like the 8-bit, he's like do 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 do, and then it just like morphs into this dubstep thing, and that just cracks me up. But that's really good. And also Taboo is he's hilarious. He has a podcast that's just it's so funny. But he has a song called Eat My Sass. And his tour with DMVU got canceled, unfortunately, along with many other tours. But it's called Eat My Sass Tour. And the pre-drop of this is literally just him yelling, "Eat my sass, bitch!" And it makes me laugh so much. It's an insane song. It's a really good fusion of both of their production styles. And then I got 2 more EDM acts that we got to go through. This is your EDM rundown. So there's a group called Odessa, and they make really great music. They put out like softer EDM, much more instrumental. Their live shows are beautiful. If you haven't had a chance to go to YouTube and kind of just check those out, please at any moment do. You won't regret it. They have like a full drum line that they use in their shows, and their intro is phenomenal. But they had released a bunch of music and then just kind of taken a step back from that and disappeared for a while, and then made an announcement that they were gonna they put out a little mix, and people were like, oh, that's cool, this is exciting. And then they're like, hey, we started a whole nother project with somebody else called Bronson, and then they released the first 2 singles of that last week.
Oh, interesting.
And it's Heart Attack and Vault. The songs are called Heart Attack and Vaults, and it's Odessa and Golden Features collaboration project called Bronson. And so I don't know if they're ever going to do any of this live, but the songs are really good. I prefer the second one over the first one, but the second, I just like darker atmospheres. But it's still really, 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 really good. So definitely check that out. It's not like whoa-whoa-y, but it's like more like trance and like house. So it's got that like head bob, like do your homework kind of too, or like go through a drive at night feeling. And then through all of these live streams, since shows have been canceled, people have been taking the time to premiere a bunch of new music. And during, I believe it was the Room Service Fest, Weathen was the special guest.
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah,
debuted his new album, I think in its entirety, just like played it for people. And it was really, really good. He makes really good music, but his music was really good. During that same festival, I believe it was Closey, who, if you don't know Closey, you would like Closey a lot specifically. But she premiered a bunch of new music that was nuts. She has a new album out. And then the man himself, one of my favorite artists of all time at this point, Grizz, this past Friday put out Bangers Part 5.
Oh, wow.
And it has the songs The Baddest, Me, My Friends and I, Part 3, featuring Prob Cause and Chris Shera Perrier, and Spaceship Ride. And all of these songs are so good. Like he's been playing them more recently on like his like festival run that he did like at Okeechobee, which if you haven't watched his Okie set, it's on YouTube. It's absolutely on a different level. I don't think I've ever seen that much fun music out on stage. But My Friends and I, Part 3 was recorded in like green rooms during that tour, and you can just see how happy he was during this time, and how like deep, and not how deep, but how like deeply he cares about music, and how cool he just like how cool he feels music can be, and how great he is making it. So definitely go check out Bangers 5 and check out the other 4 too, because there's tons of gems on there that every time I listen to them, I'm like, hey, this is really cool. But we're going to take a trip back to 2019 because I missed this, and I am so mad I missed this in 2019.
Oh, yeah.
But I found it now. There's an artist that's featured on my favorite Grizz song called Mercy. And this artist's name is Valentina, and she's a singer, and she is so good.
That's how you found her, because I was like, where did you find this person?
Yeah, so she's the person that sings on Mercy.
Okay.
And I was like, she has a really cool voice. I just hadn't clicked the name. And so I was like, all right, let me go see what her other music sounds like. And I was blown away, like just like absolutely amazed by everything. And it's super stripped down, but her voice has so much power in it that it's nuts. And she doesn't have an album out yet.
Yeah, she's super small.
She has a single, like a 6-track EP, and then like a bunch of more singles. And I would just kill for an album of her. But her Nervous is probably, if I had to pick like songs from 2019, Nervous would probably crack my top 10 just individual songs, even singles, just like songs that I heard.
Yeah.
For that year, that song would be up there because that song is so good. I also want her and Jessie Reyez to be best friends and make.
That actually would be really cool.
Together.
That's good. I like that a lot.
They seem like they fit. Also, Jessie Reyez' album is really good.
Yeah, Jessie Reyez' album was good.
I don't remember if we talked about it on a because I know we talked about the singles.
No,
the album is so good.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I totally. Yeah. April 2nd, it came out.
Before Love Came to Kill Us.
Yeah, Before Love Came to Kill Us. Eminem, Black, and then on the deluxe, Boogie with the Hoodie, JID, Rico Nasty, and Melly are all the features. So honestly, for a 17 track, almost hour long album, doesn't have that many
I
features.
didn't skip anything.
I
I
didn't
didn't.
skip
I didn't
anything.
skip anything.
Yeah, it's
I
so
couldn't.
good. Yeah, like her
She
voice is
starts this album.
fantastic.
She starts this album by saying, "I should have fucked your friends." Are you kidding me right now? Anybody that starts an album like that can just win. Like, you got it. Like, this is you. Like,
Yeah,
you get a
it's
hand clap.
yeah,
Are you kidding
it's a
me?
good album. Like she sounds great on it. The production I found was very interesting and like really
Mhm.
kept me coming back to it. I loved both of the artworks, like particularly of the Before Love Became Us to Kill Us deluxe version
Yeah.
because it looks like one of those like 90s like Spanish films. You know, it looks like this very soap opera-esque poster. Super
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, the album was great. I totally didn't. Yeah, I did not note that here on my list at all for some reason, but I did listen to it. And I graded it already,
Oh, it's so good.
and it's
It's
very
probably
good.
going to be really high for me.
Oh yeah, same.
Um,
It's in a very good spot. I thought it was a
yeah.
great album. I listened to it like 4 times in a row.
I think it's going to be like my remember last year I put Betty Who really high.
Hmm.
This is like that
Wow,
again.
wow,
I love this album.
it's very good.
She's so I just wasn't. I had to pause it because I was laughing so hard after I started it. When she goes, "I should have fucked your friends," and I was like, "Oh,
I remember you texted me that, and I was like, oh wow. And so then a week later, I went and listened to it, and I was like, yeah, this is
Mm.
very good.
Also, I love how much Eminem has just been like, "I will do features for you."
Yeah, like they're super tight.
Mhm.
Like,
He also took like the 2 songs that he did with her on Kamikaze were her songs
yeah,
already. He just was like, "I like these," and she was like,
yeah.
"Yes."
Like it was basically like a Drake Weekend 2011 like
Yeah,
relationship, and it was all the stuff they do together is great, and I think they fit each other very well because they're so different but similar. It's very interesting.
yeah. They also feel like
Um,
it's less toxic than Drake and The Weeknd
oh, 100. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
because
yeah.
I fully believe that at one day they're gonna be at a club and something is gonna come up and they're just gonna fight. I fully believe that a Drake in the week, like it's gonna be like a fight like brothers where they're gonna just throw down and it's gonna be really bad. But then
I
like the
need
next day they're gonna be like, all right, we're done now.
I need the OVO XO tape though. Um, but
That's how
so
they should market it. They should just beat each other up.
similar to Chris
And
Brown
then
and Drake, and then No Guidance came out.
yeah, but the weekend will be so much better than No Guidance
Oh, 100%, 100%.
because No Guidance was a Chris Brown song that Drake tried to do, and you can't do Chris Brown on a Chris Brown song.
Yeah,
Regardless of how you feel about him, you can't out Chris Brown
yeah, yeah.
easily.
That's
And
true.
he like if Drake had rapped one, I think if Drake had rapped on No Guidance, it would have made it so much better instead of just trying to like because that's what he did that whole song.
Yeah.
And I'm honestly so sick of hearing that from artists in general, but especially from Drake. Um, but you want to talk about this Young Thug Chris Brown tape that came out real
I
quick?
didn't listen to it. Did you?
I listened to parts of it. I
Okay.
like skip. I thumbs through it. You know when you
Uh-huh.
like you get that new comic book, and you just kind of want to see what those spreads are like. You kind of just thumb through. I thumbed through it. It was
Uh-huh.
mixtape. It happened. It's not
Yeah.
terrible. It's not great. It's
I I don't know why it's on Spotify 4 times.
I
Because I'm
think
looking
they
at it and it's literally it oh I know why. There's two different. This is so dumb. So the reason is there's a clean and an explicit version, okay? But there's two versions of it, and the only difference between the two versions is that there's a 13th track
with Future.
with Future. That's it. Like literally there's a version with 12 tracks, clean, explicit, another version with 13 tracks, clean, explicit. And it's on here 4 times. And that's just so weird. But
That's hilarious.
that's honestly hilarious. I think the artwork is cool. Like this like
Yeah.
manga anime style artwork is cool. Pretty the features are I haven't like I said, I haven't listened to this, but off the bat, the features are a little interesting. You have Major Nine, Shad the God, Gunna, Lil Duke,
Gunna feature was really good. Too Short and E40
yeah, Too Short E40,
were really
Hoodie
good.
Baby, and Future.
Future's Future.
Future's Future, like, yeah, that's pretty predictable.
Dude, I went back and listened to some old Future today though, like Karate Chop, the Karate Chop remix with Lil Wayne, and like Pluto era Future, and I forgot how much that slapped. And I'm not even mad about how good it was. You want to talk about Taco Tuesday?
Yeah, so
Taco
that was funny.
Tuesday.
So Taco Tuesday is a single by the Migos that came out on Cinco de Mayo. So on one hand, I feel like it's hilarious because it came out on Cinco de Mayo. It's called Taco Tuesday, and Cinco de Mayo was on a Tuesday. But on the other hand, I'm also so annoyed by that. It's only a minute and a half, and it's only Offset and Quavo.
Takeoff's on there.
Where?
He's on, like, he has a verse.
He does. It's
Yeah.
only a minute. Like I said, it's only a minute and a half. So
Like, it's super short, but
it's
like
super short.
It's like, that's why I said it was like the intro, because all three of them have a verse, but it's super short.
That's fair. Okay, I've listened to it a couple times, so I guess I missed.
Unless I'm getting their voices confused again, Takeoff definitely is on this.
Also, apparently, the beginning
Is LeBron James?
It's LeBron James.
Yeah. Have you seen? He does that. So he does that every Tuesday. I don't know. He hasn't done it recently, but he used to make it like a thing where he would go with his family while they're eating tacos. Like, you know what day it is? And he like, it's Tuesday. He's like, yeah, but it's Taco Tuesday. And like, just would yell that at his children.
That's great.
But
yeah,
no, take off the second verse.
You're right. Yeah, it goes.
My name is Jose. Hola.
Okay, I love the Migos.
Hold on, we just
so
gotta
much.
read these. My name is Jose. Hola. It's a long line at the doorway. Trap. We serving tacos, get them with nachos. Fucking with a bad vibe, and she go both ways. Count up the racks off a show tape. I've never ever seen a broke day.
Oh no!
Look into the eyes to the goat face.
Goat.
The gang in Darrell, it's a 4-way.
For takeoff.
Honestly, it's so good.
It's fantastic. No, the song's fun. I like the beat a lot. DJ Darrell,
DJ Darrell's a great producer.
He's a great producer. Yeah, no, the beat is fantastic. It's fun. It's a cool song. It ain't that deep.
It's not gonna be on Culture 3, but
yeah, I don't think it fits Culture 3, but it definitely is like a teaser saying, "Hey, fam, remember us, the Migos? Culture 3 is coming."
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. If Stripper Bowl is on Culture 3, I might not listen to it.
That's true. I did not like that song.
Being completely honest, I'm not gonna listen to Stripper Bowl.
I did not like Stripper Bowl at all. It was not good.
It wasn't.
So an album I just need to ask if you listened to. Did you listen to Jay Electronica's A Written Testimony?
No, because I forgot it came out.
Okay. It came out like literally right as quarantine hit because it came out March 13th.
Yeah. Did you like it?
I've felt mixed about it a lot. Okay. And at the end of the day, I think it has some of the greatest pen game of 2020 of a rap album because the pen game is crazy. It's 10 tracks. It's 39 minutes. Jay Electronica, it's his first album that he's been promising for over a decade, which is nuts if you think about that. It features Travis Scott and The Dream twice. The Dream is on here twice. And it features like...
The Dream is a goat. And
The Dream is
people to start realizing that.
The features were interesting because like The Dream, it didn't sound like him, but he sounded fantastic. The Travis Scott thing was like a backing vocal. And then it has a bunch of uncredited features because it samples so many things that have not come out by other artists. Like it technically features Rihanna, but it's not distinctly her. It's uncredited. It's something that she had that was unreleased that they got the rights to. It's crazy. My biggest thing with this whole album, though, is I would like it so much more if it was not Watch the Throne 2 uncredited, because it is literally not just Jay Electronica. Jay-Z is uncredited feature on every single song except the skits.
Yeah.
It's weird. And I don't know. I feel conflicted because I like that. I like Jay-Z on it. But the fact that I would have much preferred if they said, this is Jay Electronica and Jay-Z and come forward with it because everyone expected it just to be J.E.
Jay Electronica. Yeah.
And then we got a joint project with Jay and Jay. And either he shouldn't have been on it at all, or they should have come forward about that. But like literally they have not credited Jay-Z on there. Like
the songs that I heard that Jay-Z were on, like this, I listened to the first song to hear because
Hmm.
I saw that Jay-Z was on it, and I was like, I have to listen to this because Jay-Z,
Yeah.
and it was really good. But
It's good. Like that's the
I
thing.
feel that though.
At the end of the day, it is very good. I just from a packaging standpoint, it threw me for a loop. But I will say the beats are fantastic.
Yeah.
Jay Electronica produced most of it himself, which I love when an artist does that. He's like an older guy. He's like 40. Jay-Z is like 40s as well. It's very interesting. If I'm older, if I was an older person, like 30 or 40 in the rap
Hmm.
game, like I would really love this thing. Lo-fi beats, like it literally is like it's a great album because for all these new kids to like the rap game music, listening to that as like, yo, this is what music sounded like 20 years ago, but with
Yeah.
lyrics of 2020. And it
Yeah.
has a whole thing with Jay Electronica because he's Muslim.
Hmm.
And has a whole thing with that. Like, it's really good. It just, I feel conflicted about its like marketing. I think it threw me
Yeah.
for a loop in
I
a
think
weird way.
I think Kendrick's Control verse affected Jay Electronica more than
Big
he
Sean.
let on, or honestly more than it affected Big Sean,
Agreed.
because like Big Sean released that song with that verse on there,
Yeah.
and so that was a power move in and of itself. But I think having Kendrick come at everyone, even like at everyone in the rap game, including the people that are on that
The
song,
song. Yeah.
and like it would have been cool if like Big Sean immediately put out something and was like, all right, you said I can't rap, I can out rap you. He can't, but he was like, he tried, and it was really, really good. And then we got like No Favors with Eminem. Jay Electronica didn't do that. He just kind of was like, all right, cool.
He said, I'm going to release my album. Every year he said, he pulled like the biggest Frank Ocean and said, I'm going to release my album every single year. And they just never did it. And then literally he said like back in like February, he's like, my debut album in 40 days. And it's wild how Jay-Z this entire time, like let him stay on Rock Nation. Like Jay-Z trusted him and like really likes him so much that he's like,
Yeah.
you haven't given me anything for my music label in 10 years, which is bonkers. But he kept him on and they put out this project and yeah, it's
He
great.
did singles and like did a ton of features and
Yeah.
stuff like that, but
He never gave out a project, like not even
no.
like an EP. So like it's good. I think everyone should go listen to it. It's very interesting. I think once again the beats are fantastic. The pen game is crazy. It's good. I think, and it's short too. It's like not super long of a time investment. If this was an hour and a half, I would be like, bruh. But it's only like 40
Right.
minutes, so like
Yeah.
it's really not a big deal. Did you listen to Joyner Lucas's ADHD?
I did.
That was good.
That was really good.
That was a good
That was
rap
worth the
album.
wait. That was definitely worth
That's
the wait.
another one. We
That was
waited
definitely worth the
literally.
wait.
He announced it a
Yeah.
year and a half ago, like October of 2018, ADHD. And then it was just like, here's 7 singles over the course of a year and a half. And then he finally gave us his album as an independent artist.
Only thing we didn't get on that album, I was really looking forward to, was the next Eminem song.
Yeah, it was the what was it? I'm Not Gay or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
But if I was,
if I was gay or something.
yeah.
That
Which
was
seemed weird.
It seemed weird, but it sounded really good.
It did. I hope that it comes out eventually, or I hope they just make an album together.
Yeah, I do too. I'm
I
still
could
waiting
listen to
for
an
the
album of Lucky You.
yeah, I could too. And I'm also still waiting for the full EP of the Chris Brown Joyner Lucas tapes of
We got a Young Thug and Chris Brown tape before we got that Joyner tape.
I know, right? But
That's
honestly,
nuts.
it all falls down to I think Joyner Lucas leaving Atlantic because like that's what delayed the release of ADHD was he had to go and get all that shit from Atlantic and say like I need this.
Yeah.
But no, the album's great. It features Logic, Young Thug, Chris Brown, Timberland on production, King OSF, Fabulous, and then Chris Tucker and Kevin Hart on skits.
Yes, which is really, really cool.
Which I thought they were great. The skits were fun. The skits with Joyner were interesting about like mental health and everything else like that. It's 18 tracks.
I love the song Will.
Oh, I do too. Yeah, Will with and like Will Smith.
The video, yeah.
It's all the videos were very interesting. The Revenge video was my favorite. Maybe the ISIS one was. I don't know. They're all great videos. But yeah, there's some great stuff on here. I think everyone should go listen to it. I think it's probably going to be the most underrated rap album of this year as of right now because I feel like it came out and it was hot and then people kind of fell off of it. And people also be harsh on Joyner Lucas, and I'm like,
Yeah,
this man has one of the best flows and deliveries like I can think of right now.
because he can do fast, slow, trap,
He,
lyrical. Like it
he
is
can do.
whatever.
He did like the Gold Mine was very gunna, like it was
Yeah,
very good. So I don't know. I feel like people are sleeping on this, and they need to go
mhm,
listen to it. Um,
big time. So the last album I want to talk about is Dance Gavin Dance put out
oh yeah,
Afterburner on Rise Records. And it's so good. I have a love hate with Dance Gavin Dance because I don't really listen to post hardcore that much anymore, and I don't
same.
listen to, and even when I did, I didn't listen to like Weedle like post hardcore, and it's called Weedle post hardcore because of the guitar parts. They like Weedle Deedle, and like it's super technical and fancy, and it's really cool in spurts. But it can be like kind of overwhelming to a certain degree. Um, this album was really good. Like Tillian sounds really good. All of Will Swan's guitar parts are amazing. There is that whole Dance Gavin Dance. He just screams random words at you sometimes. He does. Like it's I forgot. It's like I don't want your pudding or there's a song where he goes multiple stab wounds and it has nothing. He just screams it over and over again. It's like multiple stab wounds. It has no relevance to the rest of the song, and that's like confusing, but it's hilarious. But they're a really really good band, I think, and I'm glad that this album was good. I'm sad that their tour got canceled with issues. Um, their headliner would have been sick to go see because they're a really really good live band as well. Um,
Yeah,
but and they're honestly one of the most successful bands for a band that technically should not exist for having 3 different vocalists and it not being like a super group type deal where they can just people can come in and out. They've gone through 3 vocalists. They should not exist like this anymore. Like Attack Attack that happened to Attack Attack, where they went from like the first guy Caleb Shomo to first guy Austin Carlisle, Caleb Shomo, and then Attack Attack died. Dance Gavin Dance should have died after Johnny Craig left,
yeah,
but they haven't.
yeah,
So shout out to them for persevering. Um, that's good.
yeah,
Also, I hope Johnny Craig gets his life together because he's too good of a singer
yeah,
to keep getting kicked out of bands that are so good.
yeah. I added that to my list because I actually haven't listened to that one yet. Cool cover
Hmm.
art, really cool cover art,
Oh, it's really good. Yeah.
really
Also,
cool.
all of their artists cover art is connected. In
Oh,
that they've
really?
created they
Oh,
create
yeah.
characters and whatnot, and it's the
You're
same
right.
artist and the same art style,
It's really cool.
and they have a whole they have a graphic novel as well
Oh,
about
really?
some of the characters
That's
in
cool.
the on their covers. Um, and then from there, let's see, what was it? Not artificial. Oh, not artificial selection. Mothership. Chucky versus the giant tortoise and the young robot. Like those are character. Like Chucky is a character, but young robot is a character. And it's really really cool and really interesting the way they kind of have like taken their cover art to explore
Like
these
this
characters like
world,
that.
yeah,
Yeah.
this universe they've created. That is really cool. I like that. Well, speaking of cover art, let's talk about an album. This is the last thing I have to talk about. Is an album that has literally no cover art at all. It's 31520 by Childish
Childish
Gambino.
Gambino.
So,
Oh,
like
oh, it's
talking
so
about,
good.
so this was bonkers. Literally, so it's called 31520 because he released it on DonaldGloverPresents.com on Monday, March 15th, and then Sunday, March 22nd, it ended up on streaming services. You could only listen to it on the website for like that first week. It had no track listing. It was literally just a play bar and it looped. So you
Yep.
couldn't even start it from the beginning. You had to jump in and it kind of live streamed itself. And he said like he was like choose a tile because there was like 4 tiles that made a picture and we all assumed you would vote on your favorite one and that one would become your cover art. We have no idea what happened to those because this thing is just white. There is no cover art. It's blank, but it makes
Congratulations, we played
sense.
ourselves.
Yeah, congratulations. We played ourselves with Childish Gambino, Donald Glover again. It's 12 tracks. It's 57 minutes. It features it now. They've credited them, but previously uncredited. Ariana Grande, 21 Savage,
Mm-hmm.
Kaji Bonet, and
One
Ink.
Savage.
And I think this album is great. I love it.
Yeah.
It's so good. Like it is very much a culmination of all of his sound thus far. And a lot of people found that jarring, I think, where they're like, it doesn't solidify if he's rap or he's Afro funk or whatever. But I was like, that's the point though. Like he kind
Yeah.
of does it all. He
All
does
of it.
everything,
Yeah. He
even as a
can, because he
person.
does all of it well.
Yeah, like he writes, he does acting, he does music. He's always
Mhm.
been a polymath, and this album
Yeah.
is basically a polymath.
Yeah. And he's
I think
going
it's really
back to
good.
do Community again too,
Yeah, he's
which
come back to
is
the table read for
so nice.
Community.
Yeah.
No, this is a great album. Like I listened to it many, many, many times in a row, and I love it. I think it's really good. There's a lot to digest within it. It's so good. And also 21 Savage, that verse was fantastic.
It
That was
was.
like one of my favorite 21 Savage verses probably of all time.
It's so good.
It's so good. And also the beat on that song is so clean.
I really like 4226 as well. The 10th track,
The
because
10th
it's just
track, which one is that? What does it sound like? He named all of these after timestamps
yeah.
also. There's no song
Yeah.
titles on here. There's two of them, but like that's it.
Algorithm, time.
And then the
That's
rest are
it.
just timestamps.
Yeah. I don't know how to describe this. I feel like any description I give is corny, so I'm not. But that's my favorite song
Okay. I
on
think I
here.
know what you're talking about because like I thought the last like 3-track run was
Mhm.
really, really
It's
strong.
phenomenal. Yeah.
Like I thought that those last 3 tracks were really interesting. Is it the one at the end where like it's his daughter saying he's talking to his daughter and he's like, "Do you love yourself?" or whatever? Was it that one?
Maybe
Maybe it's the one before or after it. Either way, it doesn't matter because every song on here is so good.
Fire
Um,
Flame.
yeah, it's fantastic. So I think everyone should listen to this.
Mhm.
If you're not into Childish Gambino, like what are you doing? Um,
Yeah.
but a lot
Who
of
are
people I
you?
know like they didn't really realize like why it was blank or why there were timestamps and stuff, and they like Childish Gambino, but they weren't aware of that. So once like you explain that to them, it's like, oh, okay, I get it, and then they love it.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, that's pretty much everything. Like there's a lot of music that came out, but we ain't trying to make this a 3-hour episode for everyone out here.
None.
We just wanted to hit the nails on the head that were
Our
gold.
favorites.
Yeah, our favorite stuff that has come out, the quarantine catch up, caught up from the past 9 weeks. We're going to start recording some more episodes again regularly now that we've like established this new way of recording, not physically in the same room for right now. We'll be doing some more weekly episodes. We've got a weekend episode we will eventually have coming out that's going to be a big, big one. But, thank you all for listening. Be sure to follow us on the now resurrected Instagram at Wrapped Podcast, Twitter at Podcast Wrapped. Hit us up on the email, wrappedpodcast.gmail.com or at gmail.com, I should say. You can find either of us on our Instagrams. Mine is at Colton Hinderleiter. Ryan's is at Anarchy with a
7.
K.
Yes.
7 with a K.
ANARKEY. The number 7.
The number 7. So thank you all again so much for listening. We'll catch you guys next time and stay tuned for more episodes.
Peace, love, and happiness.
Peace.
Bye.